If the president was earning, 300 million per month, it would not be a problem giving 20 million. But we all know that he doesn't earn 300 million. He earns approximately 2 million. So how he manages to give 20 million is a matter of money laundering. Because you'd have to ask, what else does he do besides being a president? It must be business. So did we hire him to do business? That's the issue. That there is the abuse of office. That you are given a particular position and you end up using that position to do something else instead of doing what took you there. So what is our problem here with what took place today and what has been taking place even in the past? It is the introduction of what we call prosperity gospel, the so-called prosperity gospel. It's not a gospel, because gospel is good news. It's actually bad news in this case. So people have turned Christianity around so that it is a tool for merchandise. It's a tool for trade and, prosperity. The problem is that it's only those who preach prosperity that end up prospering. And I have been on this for long. I think you all know my stand against Benny Hinn and how I was ostracized by the church because of speaking out. My stand against, Bishop Awar and the duping of congregants, etc. And I have whole pieces on this matter and the need to regulate the airwaves and so on, so that people are not taken for granted. So the Bible itself would actually encourage us to be critical. Isaiah 1:18 would say, "Come now, let us reason together." Isaiah 41:21 says, "Set forth your case, present your arguments," says Jacob's king. So God is not afraid of reasoning, no. So if somebody misuses Christianity, we don't blame Christianity, we blame the person who misuses that. And the focus is so much on the pastor who took the 20 million and all of that, and who's building this and the other edifice. But the issue is more the politician who wants to use money and church spaces in order to win votes or to get into office. That is what should worry us, actually. And so giving of offerings is not bad. If the president was earning, 300 million per month, it would not be a problem giving 20 million. But we all know that he doesn't earn 300 million. He earns approximately 2 million. So how he manages to give 20 million is a matter of money laundering. Because you'd have to ask, what else does he do besides being a president? It must be business. So did we hire him to do business? That's the issue. That there is the abuse of office. That you are given a particular position and you end up using that position to do something else instead of doing what took you there. And that is what leads me to the second issue, and that is integrity. Our Constitution very clearly in Article 10, in Chapter 6 of the Constitution, as well as Article 232, where it deals with the civil service and what needs to take place there, public service and so on. You have values as a foundation of our constitutional making process. Unfortunately, we are strangers and we are enemies. We do not like values. And Article 10 actually says that nothing in this country should happen without looking at those values. So you can't take decisions, you can't make policies, you can't do anything without values. And they're listed there. I don't have time for that. Chapter 6 says that you cannot occupy public office unless, and there are conditions there, about 6 different chapters that address that. I mean, 6 different articles, sorry, not chapters, but articles. And I would want us to spend time with that, because this is where we all go wrong with regard to leadership. Because we have people in office that should never be in office. Now, we like to be polite about that, but actually that is where our energy should be. We need a scorecard that says if someone has been stealing, if someone has been lying, if someone has been taking advantage of citizens, they should not be anywhere near leadership at all. I mean, in the last 2022 general elections, we know that EACC listed about 241 people that should never have entered leadership. Well, IEBC cleared most of them. We know how this particular government, in coming to office, cleared people who had huge cases against them. Murder, theft, misappropriation, all these kinds of things. Now their cases were lifted, and we watched that happen. That is where we went wrong. But it's not beginning now. In 2013, we went to the polls and we voted in 2 people who were indicted at the ICC. That is how tolerating to evil we are as a people. We know that both Uhuru and Ruto should never have been elected in 2013, let alone 2017. But we live as if we can elect people that are indicted and go scot-free. Who is to blame for that? We are the ones to blame. And that's why I'm insisting. You watch my tweets, you read anything I write. I'm insisting that we must go back to character-driven leadership, where I, Reuben Kigame, my team, we subject ourselves to you, so that you don't elect us, you don't give us a chance to lead if we are adversely mentioned. That is where our attention should be. And I want to move to my last point by saying this, that integrity is very connected with how we do politics as Kenyans. We easily forget. In fact, as soon as people begin to move around in cars and convoys and have press conferences and so on, we forget their past mistakes. We forget the lies. You know, I don't really like going into this publicly, but let me have a stint at it. Now, if in 2022 to 2024, the deputy president then was telling us that the government is for shareholders, and that is the truthful condition, that if you didn't qualify to be among the 2 communities, then you were not part of, you had no place in government. So how does he become the truthful man? How does he become the person that shapes the next coalition? Kenyans, we really are so cheap. We forget so easily. And so I have nothing personal against individuals. The issue is, where is the consistency? Check what I have been saying as Kigame in 1980s, 1990s, the constitutional time. Check what I have been saying all along. Check what my ideology is. If it keeps changing, then you know that I'll change. There is nothing that will take me away, for example, from insisting that personally, I think human dignity is important, that I think telling the truth is important, that I believe justice is important. And so if you hear me change and begin to now push the tribal card, or now begin to go into the shareholding stuff, then you know Reuben has changed. So look at the consistencies of each person. And so when it comes to how we vote next, the problem is that we Kenyans follow the money. We follow the pomp. We follow the tribe. No matter how much we are told it's the wrong way, no matter how much even young people are told that tribalism is not the way to go, no matter how much they said we are tribeless, etc., someone will come and buy them and give them money. So money becomes our problem. And we need to sanitize ourselves of money, ourselves. It's not just pastors taking money. It is even citizens taking the 500 and 1,000 to go and beat up somebody, the 200 to go and vote in a crook. I think we must truly do a surgical analysis of who we are today and reject rogue money. It's not enough for the church to reject that money. We ourselves must reject that money. The young people are being bought by that same money, and we are not speaking enough. People are betraying citizens because of that money, and we are not speaking enough. So don't stop at the pastor and the church. Let's go to civil society and how people are receiving rogue money to betray citizens. Let's go to young people that are being bought by the so-called big boys in the name of politics. And so the challenge goes right back to us, not so much to this one particular pastor. We will name and shame him today, and then tomorrow, somebody will come and give a pay bill number and, collect money from you in the name of a social cause, and we don't audit that. And so we need to really introspect. I know that this is not a place for me to speak alone, so I'll yield the mic now and just hope that this helps us somehow to balance the discussion.
I don't talk Finnish. Pontius Pilato, the Kenyan version, was in Baringo yesterday. Does he know the situation of schools there? The insecurity, the lack of water? But I beg, na Pontius na donate 20 million to church today. He is a dimwit. I am not taking that back. So jana ulikuwa mahali kunakaa majaribu. But today na 20 million na dunga your wallet. Na want to run to where? Church. Congratulations. Makofi kwako. Makofi. Yeah.